No guys, we're going to stick with the same type of content here. When someone just put there as well, just a quick reply as a video, someone in the comments and said to me, what was the best book I read in jail? Now, it's no secret guys, now for many years, many decades, there's been TVs provided to you in prison and what have you, right? Yes, that is right, but when you're on basic regimes, if you get into a scrap with anyone or if you get free IEPs, you get put on basic, or basically just to discipline you a little bit if you're out of control. Now basic regime means your canteen spends then go down to like £7 what you can spend a week. Also your visits are restricted, and obviously you've got no TV, but whereas wills and ways, there's always spare TVs. You fucking pay the lads and you get the TVs brought to you from anywhere, you know what I mean? But then there'll be random cell searches every time to check that you haven't still got your TV. That's the punishment of basic regime. Other one is if you're in segregation doing a CC, or what is known as a GOAD, good order and discipline down the block. Yeah, where you've got no TV and you can be left up there down for 49 days and until you're transferred to another prison establishment or gone or get put on a wing, or in some special circumstances Cat A prisoners get left down the block with a TV. I've seen that loads of times. But anyway, as I was saying, they said what happens, because I've done many years in segregation down the block. Obviously I was an unruly prisoner. I was starred up at the age of 18. I don't know if anyone's seen the channel on here on Paddy from Doncaster where he put it on. Ian Paddy's channel. That's it guys, have a look and subscribe to Ian Paddy Doncaster, where he mentioned he was on the adult wing where they brought me from the YOs and put me on the cons wing when I was 18 for getting in too many fights all the time. I was starred up for extreme violence for fighting just non-stop. But yes, when I was down to segregation or on basic, there was some good books available. Now a lot of people have their own different tastes in books, a lot like the Andy McNabb books. Everyone likes their own different kinds, but me, I always like my true crime and my true fighting books. So my top 3 books out there would be book number 3 would be Pretty Boy Roy Shaw. That was a good book about his time when he was in Broadmoor and he beat a metal cell door down with a metal bar. He was a character, he was a hardcore convict, but Pretty Boy Roy Shaw was a very hard man. To beat Lenny McLean, you got to be some boy, you know what I mean? Because Lenny McLean, I personally think in that era was the boy of all boys. He was the beast, the man. Now, the second book, speaking of Lenny, would be Lenny's book himself what I read, The Guvnor. That's a good book. You know what I mean? It tells you all the ins and outs, how he rose to be London's hardest man and then the governor of the UK. When I've watched the fighting videos with Lenny, they were brutal. Especially when he fought that Gypsy Joe Bradshaw, he stamped off his head on the middle of the ring, and seriously ruined him. And when he was in jail, I know he was supported a lot by Scotland gangster Arthur Thompson, with all the security and what have you. And yeah, there is no doubt Lenny McLean was the governor in his era. Simple. He was a beast. Simple as that. A real beast. But first, I'd say the best reading book, what I've read about 5 or 6 times, just because you can get right into the book and feel of it, was Bartley Gorman, Killing the Gypsies. Now, I love that book. I liked his great wars, what he talked about, and his great fight, what he had with Henry Francis, where he says Henry Francis was the best headbutt man he's ever come across, and best fight he had. But yeah, I thought it was good. I seen it where he mentions St. Valentine's Day massacre in Doncaster, where him and his brother Sam come over, and it was and it got out of hand and what have you, where he hired a fighter, a guy who I know from Clay Lane up in Doncaster called Danny Shenton, mentioned in the book, and Bartley coming to fight another Doncaster man called Bob Gaskin at the racecourse, and Sam and Bartley took a bad beating that day and was turned on by a lot of Doncaster. And it says in the book with Danny Shenton from Clay Lane saying, I'm an hired fighter, I ain't came for this. I know Danny, I know his daughter Danielle. Yeah, so fair play to them. Mention it's it's a top-notch book. I love the read to it. It's great stuff. So yeah, really guys, they'd be my top 3 books to advise. If you haven't ever read them, read any of them. That's what I think. I ain't seen no fighting footage of Bartley Gorman on the YouTube, but due to what I've been told off everyone and everyone around, and also I know his cousins with the Furies, and I get along with the Furies sound, he was supposed to be the man in his day. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. I read in the book with his fight with Uriah Burton, Big Just. You know what I mean? It's an interesting book and it keeps you on the edge at all times. So yeah, I'd advise if anyone's got free times on their hands or they're any book readers, Lenny McLean, The Governor, Pretty Boy Roy, but definitely King of the Gypsies, Bartley Gorman, guys. Good books to read. So you say that's probably my favourite book I read in prison, yeah, definitely. So guys, much love and peace. Take care.